Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom review. See by title below, yes, this is on episode 3 of SukaSuka, and overall, this episode, it pretty much went the same way that it's been going since the first episode. You know, you kind of got that kind of happy kind of thing going on in the beginning. If anything, if you watch this anime and only watch the first, several episodes of, several minutes of each episode, it will pretty much, you would not expect it to be going on a feels train emotional roller coaster that it looks like this series will be going with. Like literally every episode, it kind of makes you feel a little happy at the beginning. You have all these kind of moments, Kotori getting all like realizing, oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that to him, and the whole sexual kind of thing that happened at the end of the last one with the massage and stuff. And then you never would have expected that it would go along the ways of that ending death flag being thrown out with, like, literally that song just fits so well with that scene. Like literally that scene, it was like so nice and everything, but when she was like, you know what, I want a butter cake, because obviously the person that one of the girls that gave her that necklace thing or that pendant, pretty much whenever she came back from a mission, she would end up eating that, and that's no longer there. So she asked that for him, and it's kind of just like how instead for him, he told that his female friend that he would when he comes back, all he wants is cake, thus of course him not coming back. So it kind of shows that there's a huge chance that she it's the same situation kind of thing, where this time instead he's on the other side of it, and instead she doesn't come back. Like honestly, that whole very beginning part of episode 1, that may be what's going to be happening in the next episode for all we know. And it really does scare me, honestly. Like I'm not ready for the emotions right now, guys. I'm not. It's like only episode 3 already, and we might have a death coming in episode 4. I know there's only like 12 episodes in this season, but holy shit, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But it would definitely be like some crazy shit to be throwing in for the story. Will it be, do I approve of main character deaths? Sometimes, yes. Sometimes they progress the story, and sometimes they really have a huge impact on you. Even if you don't want it to happen, it still just makes the story even better. And I could definitely see, if you have Willem being the main character, that this would be huge for his, even more character progression that he has. Am I saying she's going to die for sure? No, of course not. There's still a huge chance that she ends up not dying and being able to survive. And, we still don't know. It just looks like how the first beginning part of this, first episode went, that it looks like she may end up sacrificing herself somewhere along the way. Does that mean it's going to happen soon? No, it may happen at the end of the season, but it really does look like somewhere along the way that's going to happen. But, there's the 3 girls, and I honestly, I don't see all of them coming back. I think there's 3 girls, and one of them is going to end up dying, whether that's, Kotori or one of the other 2 girls. I'm not too sure, but I honestly have a feeling that one of them will die. I cannot see it going any other way, honestly. But yeah, besides the whole death flags being thrown at the end, that honestly beautiful scene with the music working perfectly, the interesting facts about the sword and the talismans going around, it's like a nice little light show kind of thing. It was a really sweet scene, just ending in a way that it makes you think, oh my gosh, she's not gonna make it back, is she? It's gonna be a death flag, But overall, that scene was really, like, I really enjoyed it. Like, they really know how to, like, pull on your heartstrings, like full on the emotions that went through my mind during that scene. I was like, oh, that's so cute. And then like just marry her already, man. When he was like, oh, you have one wish, but you can't say marry me. I'm like, oh, just marry her. Come on, you want her already. She definitely wants to. And every time I see her blushing and everything, it's so adorable. After all the heartbreak and stuff that we do see in this, with obviously the reason why she didn't want to pretty much follow what he listen to what he had to say, is because that would mean that all the fairies before her were doing it wrong, and they pretty much died in vain kind of thing. But of course, she's also scared because she doesn't want to die, and she does want to before she was ready to die. That's the whole thing about it. And obviously now that this has come up, now she's scared, honestly. And it makes sense. What Willem said before, she's like, it has to be done. This is the only way kind of thing. But now that she knows there's another way, she doesn't want to sacrifice herself. And to be honest, the officer on the plane, the lizard dude or whatever his name is, at first I thought he was going to be like some dick. But it looks like he's honestly a nice guy. He even was like giving her a talk and everything. And even, said if she doesn't want to, sacrifice herself, use the fairy gate or whatever it's called, then she doesn't have to. He's willing to, bet everything on her and her resolve and everything. So I definitely had a different, I did not expect that from him. He seemed like he was going to be a dick, to be honest. One of those military dicks that are like, no, you have to sacrifice yourself right now. There's no if, and, or buts. But looks like he's not a dick, But another thing that we happened in this episode that was pretty interesting, of course, was, like I said before in the last one, we finally got the backstory behind Willem. We get to see him fighting with the sword and everything. It seemed that the reason why, I was always wondering, how the hell was he able to survive, it's been thousands of years, I think, or something, maybe hundreds, I'm not too sure. But all of humanity had died, but somehow he lived. Ends up, we see that they ended up finding him under a frozen lake because of those curses that was inflicted on him when he ended up killing one of those bees. He ends up pretty much being petrified, and thus that's why they are able to unpetrify him, and he was, get out of stone and be able to finally kind of live, because you do see that he does have problems. His organs are barely functioning, his bones are all practically broken and stuff. He's pretty much barely living. It's pretty crazy to think that's how he's able to live. And it was cool to see when he was teaching, or kind of teaching, he teaches her later more, but when he was trying to demonstrate to Kotori that there is another way. That's the main thing about this episode, that there is another way. There's it doesn't have to be where they have to do suicide bombings all the time. There is a way for them to survive, and there's a way for them to win. And it's pretty much because, sure, she's strong, she's fast and everything. He even said that, but they don't know how to properly use the weapons. It's kind of they're just brute forcing it and everything. And you see that he's able to use the weapon because the weapons were made to kind of deflect back, the enemy's kind of, full strength. So when it hits another blade, he was able to just fly her backwards. And that was the whole thing. And then, of course, you see him at the very end. He ends up bleeding and almost kind of dying. I don't know if he was super close to death, but he obviously was really hurt because I guess those swords use a lot on him, and thus him being already, practically half dead, it makes sense that he wouldn't be able to fully use it. And if he was able to fully use the swords, for a fact that he would just rush in to stop them from fighting, and he would do all the fighting. But obviously that can't happen, because if he does do that, he's probably going to get, he may die even faster than they die, obviously. And the other thing is that, sure, he may know how to use these weapons more, because obviously he was one of the first people, those braves and stuff, to use it when the humans were all still alive. But they are more proficient in the fact that their powers and everything, I forget what it's called, something that starts with a V, but they're really high with them and everything. Thus, obviously, she's also super fast and super strong from how you see, and the whole fairy wings. Honestly, those fairy wings, the butterfly wings or whatever you want to call it, it's actually really nice. It's weird to see the animation quality in this episode, because the first part, it was kind of like a weird fishbowl kind of lens thing going on, and I was like, what's going on with the animation quality? And then you have moments like that with her flying and everything is beautiful. The moment with the sword breaking apart and you find out about the talismans, that was really beautiful as well. So it's kind of weird sometimes where the animation quality does go with this show, but overall I am loving the way this is going. It definitely, the emotion, the whole point of this anime, even though there is some crazy action that you're going to see, is really just the character emotions and everything going on with it. And for a fact that sooner or later someone's going to die, and it's probably going to break my heart, honestly. And I don't know if I'm prepared or I'm ready for this next episode, because literally that may be the episode that Kotori ends up dying, or one of the other girls. It may be an episode where it's kind of happy first, and then the next episode is where the emotions go down. But I'm predicting in this next episode, someone is not going to come back. If they do all come back, then hey, I'm happy. I'm not going to be crying at least, you know, because it definitely looks like I'm definitely going to be tearing up for sure in this series. But yeah, that's all I really got to say. Overall, really good episode showing the past and backstory of more of Willem, showing kind of just the emotional kind of thing going on with Kotori and not knowing what to do and everything now. Not really sure if she she was so sure of herself before, now she's not really because of what Willem said. And of course, throwing those damn death flags and everything. That song, I want to know, is that the ending song? I actually always forget, honestly. I just always hear that song during the emotional scenes, and it really matches so well. So if you know that song, the name, the title of it, feel free to comment below that so I can go and listen to it while I tear up and stuff, But yeah, that's all I really got to say, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. There's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And until next time, guys, see ya.